Welcome, friends. Another episode of Flake News. Thank you so much for tuning in and all that other jazz to some of my musings as we get back to the grind here. Just got back from MinMax, the tournament there, the skirmish. Got to cast some matches and spent a lot of time with Peter from MinMax, Sam from MinMax, Rachel and her husband Phil. A lot of great people that showed up there, as well as good friend Summer. I was like, do I call you Shireen or do I just call you Summer? Either way, wonderful people out there in Chicago. And again, thank you so much for supporting this channel. This is my own personal little platform. This channel has long ago was used for me making Gwent videos and just other card related stuff. And I figured, hey, screw it. Let's just revive it. So if you haven't already, I do implore you, please hit the follow button. I also have something that I want to give away to one of you out there, which is this very exclusive promo. Good deeds don't go unnoticed. Now, this card over here, I think if it goes into focus, I don't know where you can get this, but I have a few, and I want to give one away to somebody who, well, I'll let you know at the end of the video, because that's what you do. I want to talk a little bit about some of my regrets when it comes to casting, because I get this question very often, and I figured it's probably worthwhile to just discuss it over here. To you, speak directly at your mouths and talk about what casting leaves to be desired, as it were. It's like, hey, Flake, if you had the chance to play or cast, what would you do? And every time it would be casting. And that isn't to say that I don't like playing the game. I adore playing the game. I stream the game a lot. If you've ever seen me in try-hard sweaty mode, ahead of like a PQ, an RTN or something like that, or a calling that I'm going to be playing in, you know that I go hard. I play 3 to 4 hours a day. I practice, I talk things through, and then I go play, and that's what I love to do. It just makes me happy. But what makes me fulfilled is a different story. And what makes me fulfilled is being part of the broadcast and allowing me to sort of paint the narrative of what's going on. It's not just about what cards are being played and naming what that card is and how much damage is being calculated. It's about setting the table for the overall picture, the narrative. I'm the spice, as it were, that gets sprinkled over the meat and potatoes that you guys are going to ingest, and I just want to make sure that you enjoy it. Ultimately, you're not there to watch me, you're there to watch the games, and that's what I really appreciate, is your trust in me in that. But what about my regrets? Why is it, what am I leaving, as it were, on the table? And frankly, it's that. It's just that. It's playing the game. If there's one thing that really leaves me wanting, it's when I'm at those tournaments, part of the broadcast team. I'm there bringing you the action, painting that picture for you, and not being able to play it. Because when I'm in that little booth, or I'm in that little curtained off area where I'm bringing the action to the people who are tuning in to whatever Twitch or YouTube channel, whatever it may be, within arm's reach of me are hundreds of people that are sitting and enjoying the game. They're mired in that head-to-head friction, that mental battle, that really fulfilling experience that they themselves are so geared up for. And I, as much as I'm so in my domain when I'm behind the desk calling the games, I do want to be there. And that's why when you see me after one of those matches, the first thing I really want to do, honestly, well, besides probably change, is do a draft or play some, open some packs and play some games. It might not just be CC that I'm itching for, but I do want to play the game. And that is something that I truly, truly miss, is playing the high stakes type of games. And yeah, there's armories and whatnot, but honestly, I like armories and they're cool and they're fun and all, but to me, I like the struggle, the battle, the clawing and scraping for some type of improvement. I call me an ELO or an XP whore as it is, but there's something satisfying about knowing that when you're refreshing your profile page on FabTCG, and I know you guys do it, for all of those who you do, trust me, seeing a lot of tweets out there that is like, oh my god, where's my ELO? There's like 0.7 points missing, whatever will I do? I have that feeling too, trust me. It exists within me, and sometimes it gets poked and prodded and eventually awoken from a slumber. And I do want to play. I do want to go out there and grind and learn and improve, because it does reflect on me as a broadcaster. Like, I'm not what's the word? I'm not completely unaware that you need to be good at the game to be a good broadcaster at the same time. But every time I go play these tournaments, it's nice to be out there in the trenches to actually experience what everyone else there is experiencing. I think it enhances what the broadcast is when you have somebody who's up there and they say, hey, I played against this dude at this battle hardened, this calling, this ProQuest or whatever. I played against this dude and he wasn't bad. I beat him, which typically happens against me. They'll beat me. But I'd like the fact that sometimes I'm in the mix, that, you know, I'll make a top 8 here and there, that I'll make someone sweat, I'll pull off a fun play, because when it comes down to it, I'm at the broadcast booth and I can rely on those things, but I still miss it. I miss it so much. But again, going back to that initial question, would you rather cast or play? There's no question in my mind that I would much rather cast. And that isn't to say that I don't like competition, because I literally just told you how much it just is dormant within me. It doesn't take much, not a lot of competitive turbulence to sort of just shake it out of its, you know, comatose state. But ultimately, I know what feeds my soul, you know, what really gets me going. I didn't leave a fairly successful and relatively lucrative career to do this. You know, I'm not saying that I'm struggling. I get by, and that's all I need, because I wake up every morning super happy with my career and my choices. But damn if it isn't, you know, it doesn't kind of just pull me in such weird directions when I see that there's a battle hardened or a calling or something and I'm not part of the broadcast and I could be there playing. You know, I want to be on part of a broadcast if there is one, but damn it, if there isn't any, I would love to be there playing. Like, that is what I want to do. And I wish there was more here in Canada, because it's not easy to travel sometimes. I travel, I think, so far, we are in April, so we're halfway through, you know, the 4th month of the year. So 3.5 months have gone by. I think I've taken 12 flights already this year. Like, I've gone in and out of the country to various different cities 6 or 7 times already, and there's still another 6 or 7 times already scheduled by June or July. So I'm out there, baby. I'm out there. I'm loving every minute of it. The difference is that every now and then I would love for one of those trips to just be something along the lines of like, hey, Flake, we're going to send you out there because we want you to play. We want you to be there, wear the colors. And I am lucky enough that great entities out there like Kayfabe Cards have done that. They have said, hey, we're going to send you a jersey. We want you out there. We're going to send you to Charlotte. We want you to play at that Battle Harden. We trust you. We like you. Make it happen. And those are really great experiences. And that really, honestly, hits me right in my soul. Because otherwise, I wouldn't be granted a lot of these experiences. It's not cheap to fly. It's not cheap to fly. And my priorities are always making sure that the bills are paid and I'm fed. And that's important. But, again, the hardest thing to digest sometimes is when you're sitting there watching everyone else play the game that you love so much, and you're a passenger in that regard, watching other people's triumphs and joys, you know, firsthand, and being able to add a little bit of spice to it, add to that narrative, and pump the tires of that moment as a broadcaster, but knowing that it's not you, you know, and that kind of sometimes pokes and prods at me. One day I would love to be in a top 8 of a battle hardened, or a calling for that matter. I think that the game's not going anywhere, and neither am I. So maybe one day it'll happen. And I cross my fingers. So we shall see. But to sort of put a bow on it, that is something that, you know, on the cusp, on the dawn of what is going to be Pro Tour week, I already think of what I'll be missing out on. And it feels selfish because I'm going to be afforded so many different privileges and luxuries and accessibility to different aspects of that weekend that a lot of people would really love to have. But I gotta say, is when I see people roll up with a 8-person pod and fire off a draft. That gives me pause to think of, damn, maybe I should reconsider, but I won't. I love what I do, and I hope you love what I do too. So let's wrap it up and say I've got that card, that promo card that I want to give away to somebody out there. So in the comments, why don't you guys tell me about what your favorite moment is from one of these events that you've been to, be it something like a PQ, a Battle Hardened, a Calling, a Pro Tour, was it Worlds? You had a moment, and I want to know what that moment is, and I'm going to pick one or two from those that I hear, that I like, and I'm going to send you one of those promo cards. And otherwise, hey, you might see me out there in Baltimore, and I might have a pocket full of these promos, and who knows? It doesn't take much to peel one of those off of me. So I will see you there. Thank you so much again for listening here, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the channel, leave a comment, all that jazz. I love you very much. We'll see you soon.